Remember the old World War I days where everybody just went all out and murdered one another? Well, Battlefield 1 retells that story in a very good sort of way. Battlefield 1's main objective was to retell the old war stories from World War I and how horrifying it was, and how our men, women and children were sacrificed in that war to fight for our freedom. But surprisingly, DICE focused more on the campaign of the game this time than the actual multiplayer, which I found somewhat of a complete difference. It adds a very new gaming experience to the World War I franchise. Being so, DICE has a tendency to make games over ridiculously good, and I mean over ridiculously good. Hence the reason why it's my second favorite game. But I'm not gonna sulk on forever, let's move the fuck along. Our Battlefield 1 campaign is solely about the British fighting against many countries in the First World War, as they were a part of the largest assault force ever constructed and assembled across the Gallipoli beach. Many of our troops stormed that beach in our countries, and only 15 of them came back. This shit really did happen, folks. World War I for many countries was hell. You should be grateful for what you're living and breathing on. I'm not fucking joking. As for the rest of the game, every character, every chapter, every piece of detail and what country they fought for, the story made sense, it was easy to follow. I really didn't have any problems with it, and neither will other players. I would consider playing the campaign of this game first before hopping into multiplayer. But that doesn't mean Battlefield 1's multiplayer was terrible either. After hopping into 20 minutes with a game with a friend, I actually found it somewhat competitive. The only real difference with the multiplayer in this game compared to Battlefield 4 is the World War I type setting. Apart from that, the mechanics people is roundabout the same. Overall, that's actually really kind of a good thing. But as you know, some people actually have different taste when it comes to video games in the complete spectrum. In an overall vote, Battlefield 1 is good and I'd recommend it to anyone who is interested in it, but the campaign is the big hit this time instead of the multiplayer, so you people don't get confused on what you're physically playing. DICE themselves have a new approach with this game, and it's somewhat overly different, so I don't think it'd be too hard for you guys to follow the story. But the multiplayer of the game, on the other hand, by all means, absolutely go and play it. Usually, this game would have a catch right about now, but there doesn't seem to be one, is there? No, there doesn't really seem to be one at all. I'm not really going to do it if there isn't one. One more thing, guys, before I go. I'll be uploading something special on Shadowforge Gaming in May. Be sure to come by and check it out. We think you're going to like it. Apart from that, see you next month in April.